Good evening, guys. Tregs here, and welcome to day 20 of my commitment to you to do a mental health walk and talk every day. Whack it on my YouTube and on my socials for the month of June. And tonight I'm joined by the one and only Becky Adams Fitness, and we're out with 4 dogs. We're having a nice little stroll at the end of the day. I've been biking with my son, but I always say this: no matter how many calories I burn mountain biking with my son, doesn't get steps. So I've got to get out and I've got to do the steps. Plus the dogs have only had a really short walk this morning with my dad, so it's really nice to get out this evening. Anyway, tonight's subject is something that me and Becky, she's going to come on as well, we decided to have a go at this week, and that is something called a negativity fast. Ooh, what's that? Well, why do you need a negativity fast, Tregs? You're so upbeat, you're so inspirational. Yeah, I know, granted, yeah, but we've had more than a few days this year, haven't we, Bex, where we've had a good old whinge together.
Oh, yeah.
Because, you know, if you follow us, you'll know you always get full transparency from us. And it's been a tough year, lots of plans cancelled. Obviously, you know, my dad's cancer, Becky's blood clot in her eye, which is now healed, but she's still having to take things slow. With her comeback from training, although she did do some handstands the other day.
Yeah, regretting it now, but
let's see if you can crouch down under that tree. There we go. Okay, and so yeah, we've been waiting on some breakthroughs. We've been having some difficulties with growing certain sides of our business. Obviously, we still absolutely love what we do. We've got a great boot camp, we do our one-to-one, and we've got our group coaching with amazing clients, but you know, we're hungry for more. We're very sort of passionate, and we're very driven and very motivated for the future. We believe as well that we were brought together for a reason, to love one another, but grow together. And we've probably, it's really interesting because we do a lot of these walks. We've always walked ever since we met. Quite often that was to the pub initially, but Becky's got a dog. There's Cassie, there's the big bear. Where's Cassie? There she is. And obviously I got Holly and Ivy. We've always walked, and we've got Margot with us as well. She's my boy's dog. It's Margot. She's running around the tree, and we've always walked, and we've always had a really good walk and talk. And there will be times where one of us ain't on good form, and the other one will just let us like get it all out. And I think Bex had one of those days this week, and I was just like, get it out, get it out. We must have walked about 2 miles. Then she was like, right, I'm done now. I said, you feel better for it? She went, yeah. Say great. And that is a beautiful thing with walking. It changes your state, but also just spitting out whatever is doing your head in. And I've had many days like it where we've walked and I've just been like, and it's great. But anyway, Bex was telling me about this negativity fast. Was it some sort of course you'd done before?
no, it was the first personal development book I ever read, which
Right.
was over 20 years ago. It was before I was in the fitness industry. And yeah, I was a bit miserable. And I was getting a train, I was living in London, I was getting a train from London to Cardiff, went into WH Smith, and I saw this book by Paul McKenna.
Love Paul McKenna.
I know, he's great.
Yeah.
Change Your Life in 7 Days. I was like, I need that book.
Yeah.
And it was such a good first personal development book, because it was like a real introduction, really like day 1, day 2, exercises.
Yeah, practicals.
Really practical, really just easy to understand, easy to read. And one of the exercises on, I think it was like day 2, was do a negativity fast.
Love it. And how long have you got to do that for?
7 days.
7 days. Right, go on, carry on. So we have to go single file through it.
So yeah, that practice in itself changed my life when I did it 3
Brilliant.
years ago.
Love that.
And it made me realise just how much negativity kind of goes through our heads.
Yep.
From day to day. You know, we're always subject to a lot of information. We've got the news, which is always full of boo.
Yeah.
It's always full of negativity. Now we've got a lot of social media.
Yeah.
There's always a lot of, they prioritise the negative posts to get more interaction. So that can be like,
yeah,
you know, we're subject to that. And so there's those things, but it's also catching yourself.
Yeah.
Catching yourself when you're kind of going into a little bit of a negative place. And I caught myself the other day, I think I'd started complaining. I'd had a real whinge.
Yeah.
And I just caught myself and I was like, actually, this is not doing anything for my energy. And it was in fact giving energy to my problems.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
We've all got problems.
Every one of us got problems.
However, we get more of what we focus on.
I love that.
So when I was focusing on, I was kind of complaining and giving energy to this, I think it was probably something around my teenager starting driving very soon. And I caught myself. I was like, do you know what? I'm going to stop complaining. And it reminded me of the Negativity Fast, and it actually prompted me to get that book out. That book must be 20 years old now, and it is covered in, it's a right state. The pages are all bent over, it's covered in tea stains. But I read it, and it was just, it's catching yourself and finding the positive intention. So it's not bypassing. It's not just like, oh no, we don't, negativity doesn't exist. It's not indulging in it, it's not giving it energy.
Yeah.
And it is taking, like, oh, okay, there's that thing that I'm a little bit worried about, or there's that thing that's feeling a bit anxious. That is my conscious mind trying to keep me safe.
Yeah.
So there's a positive action that I can take from this. So, it could be put something on your to-do list, make a phone call, have an uncomfortable conversation. There's a positive action that you can take from the negative thoughts, but you don't have to kind of go into a spiral and let it get out of control. So that's kind of what I take. And coming back to the social media and the news, just really limiting what is coming into your field and being aware. And like, we don't do this anyway, but like, no gossiping. Like, that's negative. No gossiping. We don't do that. No complaining. But what are the other things? Have I missed anything out?
Well, I think when we're having these walk and talks, and like, no, I don't mean like on the camera, but just talking amongst ourselves, it's and you share problems, don't you? But I think we've both found ourselves, we were like, I might have been, it's been hard living with my dad with his cancer. Like, he's hard enough to live with anyway, but with his cancer, and like, I'll say, I was eating a nice meal the other day, and he just come and hopped up in the sink, I'll be like, fuck, and it's, the kitchen table's just full of medication. I've been really complaining about it, but at the end of the day, it is what it is, right? And we're trying not to give kind of any of that kind of stuff energy. And I know you said that was the first self-development book you read. I read The Secret by Rhonda Byrne, which is a law of attraction. That completely changed my life. But I remember the first time I listened to it, actually my mum had got me the CDs, and I was self-employed courier at the time, driving a van for a living. I put it on, and it was all these mystical chimes, and within a second I was like, pfft. And I was just like, I'm not listening to that shit. I think I even got quite mad. And then 2 weeks later, my life was still the same. I wasn't happy in my career at the time. I thought, what have I got to lose? And I got it on, and I got past the mystical chimes, and I was like, okay, right, it's all about thoughts, but give me a buy-in. Give me something I can do practical. And it started to talk about gratitude. Like, what can you be grateful for every day? And honest to God, right, no one ever told me how to think like that. You're not taught about that in school. I wasn't like 30, 40 years ago. And just focusing on being grateful. And I was like, wow, I can do that. Just little things like grateful for your morning coffee. So even though I was in a career at the time I didn't like, I wasn't happy in my weight, I was waiting for like kind of breakthrough, and I got that eventually. I had the idea to become a PT, but it was like, what can I be grateful for? And then it was like, show appreciation. If you go into the garage and buy some petrol, rather than just going there with a long face, I say thank you. Really really feel it when you hand over the money, and even when you pay a bill, say thank you. And it started to really change my mindset. And that's something I've always tried to practice. And again, on this negativity fast, I keep on about this all the time. Like, first 20 minutes of the day, no phone. When I wake up, meditation, gratitude, thanks. What am I working on today? Because you get straight on the phone, you're straight into social media, you're straight into WhatsApps, you're straight into email. And then at the end of the day, I know I've spoken about this before, but actually doing the quiet time 20 minutes before bed and reflecting, actually, how did the day go? Sometimes you forget about what you've done in a day and what you can be grateful for, because you know, life is so fast paced. And yeah, I like doing that at the end of the day too. So we're doing 7 days, completely no complaining. So the negativity fast, we're doing it for 7 days. That means every time that we see each other, we meet up, we're at work, we're not allowed to complain.
And we've got to be grateful.
Always grateful.
Yeah, well, I know, but kind of making a point of it, like
Yeah.
reframing.
Yeah.
Grateful for the problems, aren't we? Because that's something.
You gave me that quote.
And
Problems are a privilege. Is it? Pressure's a privilege.
Pressure,
Problems
yeah.
are a privilege.
And I think that's something we've both
Yeah.
kind of taken out this year, haven't we? Because we've both had problems, but we've both grown from them. And
Absolutely.
We've both kind of got something, like whether it's, you know, a new outlook.
Yeah.
I've certainly got a whole new gratitude. I've got a whole new outlook to life, I think.
And also as well, what does complaining actually, where does complaining get you if you think about it? I sent out an email the other day and I was like, I think the email was titled painful, and I was like, that's how this year's been. And then I listed all the things and I went, God, I sound like one of those complainers that I bloody hate, but that was the truth. And then I just listed, you know, how I've rolled with it and what a great role model I am, and I'm in great shape, and I'm a great dad, and I'm a great singer songwriter. David Brent there for you. So I'm not really that. And yeah, I mean, we can all complain, but at the end of the day, it didn't get you anywhere. So if you found yourself in a bit of a negative spiral recently, stop it. All right, because you've always got something to be grateful for right now in the moment. Most of us are just living in our head anyway. We're living in the past, we're living in the future, we're worried about things that are potentially never going to happen. I know I've been self-employed pretty much all my life. Becky, not far off, pretty much the same. And you know, I've gone to some places at 3 a.m. in my head. I wake up and I was like, where was I?
Yeah.
You know, I wake up at 7:30, go, where was I at 3 a.m? I was homeless for a second with no clients. How did I end up there? Do you know what I mean? It's like your brain can take you to these crazy places because it's trying to work with logic. And of course, you do need a certain amount of logic, but also...
And the point is that you can't operate from that place.
No.
When you're in that negative complaining place where you're feeling
Yeah.
sorry for yourself, you're in that victim mentality. You haven't got the resources. You haven't got that what's the word? The
Capacity.
Oh,
Pasty. Oh, quite fancy a pasty.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
haven't got that mental capacity to find solutions or to like improve the situation.
Yeah, because your nervous system's shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you all, listen, I bet all of you know some real complainers. You might know them at work. You might even have family members that complain. Those people, some people just dine out on it. They really dine out on just like, oh, it's all right for them. Shut up. All right, so listen, no complaining. 7-day negativity fast. Don't watch any news, because that's just to divide us all. If you can't see that, then, you know, even Stevie Wonder can see what the news is doing to people. It's there to divide you. Like, just get off that. I've been down that hole. It's not very nice. And then clean up your social media as well. Like, my social media, I only want to see house music, football, animal chiropractors, and lots of spirituality and scripture and stuff like that. Otherwise, get off my feed. How was that?
Yeah.
All right. Chat to you soon.